we live? Hello everybody. My name is Natasha and I'm here in the Cricut craft room. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a vinyl sticker or a decal for your phone case. This is part of a series called Cricut 101. So if you're new to crafting, you're looking for some videos to learn how to do basic how-tos or get some project inspiration, this is the perfect place for you to learn basic tips and tools and to get an introduction on design space. So I have my friend Chris today. He is going to be helping me answer questions. So if you have any questions, be sure to comment them in the live and he can answer them along the way. If we don't get to them today, we can always comment them and answer them later. So I'm going to show you a pre-recorded video that I made and I'll narrate over the video. And then after that video is done, we can come back in here and I'll see if you guys have any questions that we missed. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said, I'm making a vinyl decal sticker for my phone case today, and I just wanted to give you a preview of what it will look like in the end so you can see what the final product is and the steps along the way to how I got here. So this is the decal that I made. So these are a few of the materials that you will need. You can see that I have a scraper tool, I have a weeding tool, but of course you'll need a phone case today. And then we'll also be using my Cricut Joy to cut the vinyl decal. And then we'll also be using vinyl today. So there's two types of materials. There's the Smart Vinyl, which means that you can cut on Cricut Joy without a mat. But if you have any vinyl laying around, then you can always put it on a mat. And this mat here comes with the Cricut Joy machine. So I'll be using on a mat today. I just had this extra vinyl that I want to use. So we're going to get started on Design Space. I'm going to click New Project, and like I said, I just want to do my name. So I'm going to hit the text box and just type my name right there. Awesome. So then now I'm just going to move it up so I can see better and look through all the fonts. There are so many fonts to choose from, and you can just scroll and preview what it'll look like once you click on the font. So if I wanted to see what this font would look like, then I just click on it and bam, you can see my name has changed fonts. I actually already have a font in mind, so I'm going to type in yours truly and I'm going to pick that. And you'll see that all of the letters are disconnected right now, and that would mean that the Cricut Joy would cut each letter individually, but I want it to be one holistic name, not cut separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to ungroup them and move them together. So you can see that all the letters are highlighted here, and we are going to go to the top right where it says ungroup once the item is selected, and I'm going to ungroup it. Once this is done, I can either pick on one letter or a few letters, and you'll see that they're highlighted if the object is selected. So I'm going to ungroup the whole thing, and now I can individually move each letter. So I'm going to move them one at a time to make sure that they're overlapping and connected. Do you see how I'm doing that there? And then we'll move the A over. I just want this to be really seamless and one sticker instead of separate stickers. So I'm going to move them together, and once those are all moved together, I'm going to highlight all of the letters together and weld them. Welding them makes it so it's all one item, one object. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna select all of the letters, and then on the bottom right, we'll weld it. Awesome. Now when I click on the object, you'll see everything is highlighted, meaning it's all one object. So now I'm going to change the size to the size that I want it to be on my phone case. I'm going to have to toggle between screens here so I can show you what Design Space looks like, but I also want to show you what it looks like in real life. So you'll have to bear with me as we go back and forth, but right now I'm going to measure my phone case to see how big I want it, and I'm going to make it about 4 inches, and I'll show you this later, like I said. Okay, so that looks about right. And you can see above the dimensions, the width and the height, there's a lock button. Because I just want to change the width of it and it's locked, when I change it to 4, the height will automatically change with it. But if I wanted to input them individually, I can definitely do that as well. But I just want it to stay cohesive with the width of it. So once that's done, I can go ahead and click Make It. And now, like I said, we are going to be making on a mat today because I have extra vinyl and it's not smart material. If I was doing smart material, I would pick without a mat, but I'm going to be doing extra vinyl on a mat today. So I'm going to click on a mat and click done. And then I'm going to continue, and now my device is connecting via Bluetooth. So I'm going to pick which material I'm using, and I don't see the material that I'm using here today on this screen, so I'm going to go ahead and choose Browse All Materials to find the right material that I'm using. These are preset, but you can change those. So I'm going to browse and look through vinyl to choose the premium vinyl. Okay, then we'll hit done. And okay, like I said, I'm toggling between screens. So now I'm going to go back and show you what that looks like in real life. So I have my little measuring tape here, and I decided that I'm going to make my decal about 4 inches long. So that is when I'm putting it into Design Space. Like I said, if I wanted to change the width and the height, I can totally do that, but I just wanted to change the width of it. So if you're just joining us today, I am teaching you guys how to make a vinyl decal sticker for your phone case. It's super easy, super fun, great project for starters. And once you start this, you'll want to personalize everything. So you can see on my bottom right here that that coral orange kind of color is the vinyl that I'm using. So I'm going to take my plastic liner off of my mat, and this mat comes with the machine. So I'm going to stick my vinyl on the mat. Now these mats are sticky to hold the material down to help the machine cut. So I'm going to lay that down, make sure it's nice and smooth on there, and then go ahead and get ready to open my machine, and we're going to load it. Now in Design Space, like I said, you'll have to indicate what kind of material you're putting on, whether it's smart material or if you're going to be using a mat. Smart material, again, you can just load it into the machine without a mat, which makes it easy to cut long designs and repeated cuts. So I'm just searching back on Design Space to pick my material, but once that's done in Design Space, I can load that green standard grip mat with the material on it into the machine. All right, so now I'm getting ready to load the machine, and I'm sliding it underneath those guiders. Do you see that on the left and right? As soon as I push it through that, the machine automatically loads it and measures the material to make sure that I have enough for the specific design that I designed in Design Space. So in Design Space, I'm going to load it and tell my machine to start cutting. And this is my favorite part. It's so mesmerizing to watch how small and detailed the machine can really cut. It's amazing. And it's hard to see in this view right here, but I'll bring it up closer so you can see what the cut design looks like once it's unloaded from the mat. Okay, and we're done cutting. So now I'm going to go back on Design Space and click Unload, and I can unload. So there, do you see how it's cut? It's a little bit hard, but I'll show you once I weed it. So I'm going to turn my mat over and take the material off. And put the plastic liner back on because that helps preserve the mat and the stickiness. So like I said, I'm toggling back just to show you what it looked like. It's hard to do at the same time, but basically you can see here, this is where I loaded my mat, and it's saying Joy's making sure your mat is aligned, and then I can tell it to go. And then when it cuts, you have this little timer thing that shows you the percentage of the cut that's been done. So it's nice to see the progress of that. And then once it's 100% done cutting, there you see the unload. So I just wanted to show you what that looked like on Design Space, but I'm going to go back and show you now. in real life. Okay, so now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim down where my design is. There's a lot of extra material you can see, so we don't want to waste that, and we can save that extra material for a future project. We're working with a small design here for my phone case. Okay, so now I need to do what's called weeding, and that's just taking out the excess material from my design that I don't want as part of my design. So I'm using a weeding tool here to try and pick up the corner, but you can also try and use your finger to try and pull away from the corner. And what we're going to do is slowly pull away the excess material so that we don't pick up the design and take away the parts of the design that we actually want to stay on the vinyl backer. So I'm slowly pulling away, and you can see the reveal of that design that is left on the backer, which is awesome. This is what we want. Fantastic. Okay, so now we can get rid of that. And now I'll use my weeding tool to get rid of the insides of the letters that I don't want as part of the design. So depending on the font, today only the H, the S, and the T have an inside part that I need to get rid of. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. Okay, it's a little tricky since it's small, but there we go. Looks like this is our fully weeded design. Okay, now so because this design is so intricate and small and delicate, I'm going to be using transfer tape. So you want to use transfer tape whenever something can't just be picked off the backer without messing up the design. So this specific design I made is pretty delicate, so I'll want it to stay together. So the transfer tape helps me transfer it perfectly the way that I designed it. So what I'll do is I'll measure the transfer tape against my design, and I'll just cut the transfer tape so it fits perfectly over my design. And once that's cut, I'm going to put the transfer tape over my design. So here we go. You see, I will peel the transfer tape from the transfer tape backer and put it on top of my design, sticky side down against the top of my design. Do you see how I'm doing that? It's a little tricky since it's small, but okay. So I'll slowly put that transfer tape on, sticky side down. And now I'll take my scraper tool and I'll do what's called burnishing. So I'm making sure that now the top of my design sticks to the transfer tape, and then eventually I will take the transfer tape away from the vinyl backer so that just the transfer tape has my design. So I'm burnishing both the front and the back, and because it's so delicate, I just want to make sure that I get every letter to stick onto the transfer tape. So I'm just going to go over everything. Okay, so now, again, just slowly pull away from the corner, and you can see that the design is now on the transfer tape. Okay, and now I can put my sticker wherever I want it, but I want it on my phone case today, so I'm gonna just place it where I want it on the phone case, and then just slowly stick it down and make sure it adheres to my phone case. And then I'll use the scraper tool again and just make sure it's on there nice and well. Okay, then just doing letter by letter, and then I'm going to slowly pull away the transfer tape. And sometimes what I like to do is use the scraper tool to help me keep the design down but lift up the transfer tape at the same time. Do you see how I'm doing that? I'm just slowly pushing it down with the scraper tool, the design, but lifting up the transfer tape. Okay, there we go. And now we're done with transfer tape, and this is what the finished product looks like. It's my own custom designed, own personalized, one-of-a-kind phone case that no one else has because it has, you know, the font and my name and everything that I chose. So I just love the way that this turns out, and this is a great project for those that are new or want to start another vinyl project and don't know what to do. I think this just turned out so great. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back here. And all right, what did you guys think? Did you like that project? Let me go ahead and see if we have any questions here. Okay. I did not need to mirror the design in Design Space because this is a vinyl project. So just like you saw the transfer tape went on top of it. That was helpful for me so I didn't have to iron or mirror it. Usually you just mirror projects with iron-on designs and infusible ink designs because you transfer that the other way. So today I was just working with sticky vinyl, so that's why we didn't need to mirror. Do we have any other questions? Someone said, why didn't you have to clean it before applying vinyl? I should have showed that part. I had already cleaned it. It was a brand new phone case, and so I should have showed that part, but I did it before recording the video. Okay, awesome. It looks like questions are still coming in, and we will be sure to get to those. If you're just joining us, I showed you how to make a vinyl decal for your phone, and this is part of a Cricut 101 series on YouTube, and this is just to really help you if you're just getting started. If you want to go back and watch these videos, it's a great place to get some project inspiration and to learn some quick how-tos and how to use Design Space and different things like that. So be sure to keep commenting on and asking questions, and we will get back to them in the comments. But that's all we have for today. So I encourage you to start making, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.